So we're starting with kickboxing for the next 20 minutes. And let's just talk very briefly a little bit about just being careful while you're exercising. So you want to make sure that as you punch, that you're not hyperextending your elbow. So whenever you punch, it's not a perfectly straight line, just a soft elbow at the end, and then bringing it back quickly in order to get that reaction of the tricep and the bicep. So, you know, obviously it's a great thing for self-defense, but we're trying to make this about fitness as well. So you want to make sure that you just pull that back. Same thing with your knees. When you're kicking, you're never completely locking out straight. You're just going to leave a small bend in your knee. So you're never hyperextending. You're never completely locking anything out. So, all right. So here we go. We're just going to start with the jab. So the jab, you can do that with, you know, just the parallel stance, or you can use a front stance. They call this a front stance. There's different ways you can call it. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back at a 45-degree angle. You want a little bit of sunshine in between those heels. You don't want to be on a tightrope. There's no balance there. Of course, if we were doing, you know, just, you know, something where we have to go back and forth, this can be a good stance. Your jab comes off the front. Your jab is basically it's just a setup. It's just a jab. It's not supposed to be a hard punch. So that comes off the front foot because you can't apply nearly as much power off the front as you can off the back with a twist. That twist is going to give you a lot of power. So your jab comes off the front, and then we can call it a straight or a cross. Straight or a cross. So let's just try that jab and straight, and we'll do a few of those. So it's a jab, straight, and we're not going to go too hard. We're just going to kind of warm it up a little bit, and then we'll pick it up as we go. So that jab is off the front foot, and that power punch is off the back. All right, let's kick it up a little bit. Let's go from 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's do a switch stance. So front foot is where your jab, back foot is where that power is. So as you're pushing off, you want to get a little bit of push off your heel. Your foot doesn't really even have to come off the floor, or it can a little bit. That push works in through your glute, through your hip, then through your waist, then through your shoulder and chest, and then out your arm. So that's where that power comes from. If you're just here, there's not a lot of power. So you got to put your body right into it. So right, jab, left, straight, jab, straight, jab, straight, jab, straight, jab, straight. So try to get that technique in there, making sure you don't hyperextend, feeling that push off the back, and then start picking it up a little bit. Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So let's look at that punch just for a minute. If you were actually going to hit something, and you know, after taking this class, maybe you're thinking, hey, I'd really like to hit a heavy bag or maybe some focus pads. And if that's what you're thinking, and if that's where you're headed, then you want to make sure that you strike well. So you want to make sure that your fist has no thumb sticking out, that your hand is not hyperextended like this. You want to have a straight line right here. So this should be pretty flat, and you would be striking with those first 2 knuckles. You want to make sure there's no thumb sticking out so that you can't catch it. So that's your jab straight. Let's look at a hook. So your hook punch, Your elbow comes down towards your hip. That arm comes up, and then you twist. So it comes down to your hip, comes up, and then you twist. So it's not a big arm motion. It's really not some big haymaking roundhouse sort of a punch. It's a hook. So it just comes up, and then your body twists. It's all about the twist. Now, if you were going for a longer range, you would want to keep that fist so that you were coming in with your thumb facing you. So you would be here. If you wanted to do something closer to you, then you would be here. Further away, closer in. So it's all about that twist. So let's try just on the right side. Left foot forward, right foot back at a small angle, a little bit of sunshine in between your heels. You're here, come up and twist, down, up, twist. Just warm it up first. Make sure your back is working. It's just drop, lift, twist, drop, lift, twist, drop, lift, twist, twist. Let's pick it up a little bit. You want to exhale as you strike, because that's part of where your power is coming from. Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So on the other side, we've got our right foot forward, left foot back at a small angle. Don't forget that little bit of sunshine. Knees are soft. You're here. Drop down to the hip. Lift, twist. Drop, lift, twist. Twist. That heel can come up, so you don't want to abuse that knee. But make sure only this side is moving. Notice this leg, even if I do this, this knee stays pretty lined up with that foot. Very important to stay very solid. This is your base right here. Your glute, your heel, everything is solid in this one line. The other side is doing the twisting. Pick it up a little bit. Count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right. So let's take a break on the upper body and we'll go to the lower body and let's try a front snap kick. So again, front snap, you're going to get your weaker kick off the front and your more powerful kick off the back. So if we're doing a front snap, we're going to lift the leg, whether it's front or back. I'm choosing the back, more powerful, with a relaxed foot. And you're going to kick it out, looking to extend your heel towards your target without leaning back. And then bring it back and put it down. Lift, strike, return, down. Be careful not to hyperextend the knee. That probably looks pretty straight, but I can go straighter. So really trying to keep that upper body straight. You don't want to hit anything leaning back because as soon as you touch something, it's going to throw you over. So here we go. Let's start soft. Your most effective kicks are generally below the waist if you're looking for it for self-defense. For fitness, well, as long as your hamstrings are flexible, that height can really get your heart rate up. Let's put a little bit more energy behind it. Remember, don't hyperextend that knee. Make sure you're nice and solid over this foot because this is the one that's going to hold you up if you ever make contact with this foot. A little more power. Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, other side. Right foot forward, left foot back. Small comfortable angle, little sunshine between the heels. Shoulders relaxed, good strong core. Here we go. So you could be going for the ankle or the knee. The knee is usually the best target if you're looking for self-defense. Most likely to have a real impact, no pun intended, and easiest to pull off and hardest to see. Well, not hardest to see, but a little bit harder to see than a high kick. An ankle kick under a big flowing skirt is your sneakiest kick. So remember, don't hyperextend that knee. Put a little more power behind it. Let's kick it up. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Nice. All right, let's try a back kick. So your back kick is basically the same. You're going to pick it up, go back and down, up, out, back and down, up, out, back and down. Soft knee, stable body as your what's the word I'm looking for? Your base. All right, so it's just here. Again, it could be a knee, could be a groin, could be an ankle. Knee's pretty good. Let's kick it up a little bit. Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So I note on looking. So if you're doing, traditional cardio kickboxing class, you probably don't want to look. It's a lot of kicking, a lot of repetitions. You might get dizzy. Not fun. But if you're using it for self-defense, you have to know where your target is. So there's two schools of thought, and one would be to look at your target the entire time. Another school of thought would tell you that you'll have more power if you look and then turn. Look and turn. So just want to throw that out there. It may not apply for the purposes of your class, but just something to think about. You definitely want to know where it is that you are striking. If you were just hitting a bag, you'd certainly want to hit it because you wouldn't want to hit a bag off to the side and twist your ankle. So just something to think about if you're actually going to hit a target. You also want to make sure that you're hitting with a flat foot. You don't want to break your toes if you decide to kick a bag. So you want to make sure that you're striking with a flat foot. You'd be striking with your heel. So let's try the other side. So it's right here. So just kind of get comfortable with the motion. Let's pick it up a bit. All right, here we go. Counting down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, so let's come back to some punches. And let's try the uppercut. The uppercut, much like the hook, has you bringing your elbow down to your hip before you strike. So some people tend to kind of scoop it up, scoop it. You don't want to do that. It's very inefficient. You can't get a lot of power that way. So you just want to drop it and then send it up off your hip. So it's that motion of your foot pushing that power that comes through your hip that sends your body. It pushes your whole body forward, sends your arm out. So your body is throwing that out. And that comes straight up. So if you're like me, really short, in self-defense, a chin looks pretty good. It's right about there for me. So an uppercut can be a great self-defense technique. Remember, striking with a straight hand, 2 first knuckles. Left foot forward, right foot back, little sunshine between the heels, drop the elbow, come up to your center. And you stop it and bring it back. All right, let's pick up the power. Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other side, right foot forward, left foot back. Soft knees, shoulders relaxed. Drop the elbow right up the center. A little more power. You should feel that lat muscle working for you. A little more. Let's count it down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, you got it. Roll out the shoulders before we start Pilates. Open up the hips a little bit. All right.